Summer Game Fest reactions are a bit mixed as the entire fest is seemingly to be a little bit less explosive than many people expected. There's still a lot of coverage coming with the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, the PC Game Show, as well as some other smaller indie showcases, but the big kickoff event with Jeff Keighley has not received the uproarious applause that many people were expecting. There were some titles and some developers and some announcements that many of us were looking forward to that were seemingly absent. Now, that's not necessarily Jeff Keighley's fault. You can only announce what's coming. You can only announce what people are willing to announce. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the future. I do think there were good things about the show. I think there were bad things about the show, but I think oftentimes, and everybody's expectations are way up here, just a slight landing beneath that is all it takes for many people to be disappointed. So I'm going to do it right here at the beginning. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and then we're going to discuss it in the live stream. So if you're watching the past broadcast, I do this so that way you do not have to go hunting for my thoughts or the topic, and then you can watch the entire past broadcast if you'd like. This is a Reforge update. Summer Game Fest reactions are coming in, and many people are finding the event to be lacking or disappointing. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the future because they did talk about what they're going to be doing next year. If you like these quick updates, hit subscribe and the bell button. That way you don't miss these, or go over to Reforge Gaming where I stream them live. I do think there was a lot of good in the show. I think the good gets forgotten when everybody is hoping to see X and they don't see X, and then that sort of overshadows the entire show. So let me give you a recap of all the things I thought were actually really good. The Modern Warfare 2 gameplay, I think, looked excellent. Very, very excelling in what they're trying to do, which is taking a tried and true franchise and make it look good, adding dynamic gameplay, adding emerging gameplay. I thought it looked excellent. Really enjoyed the graphics as well as the setting. I think that game is set up to be a very, very successful title. Street Fighter 6 actually looks really, really good. I think the new logo is significantly better. They've kind of quietly changed the logo, and for fans of the franchise, I think it looks awesome. I'm not a Street Fighter guy, but I thought the gameplay looked impressive. Aliens Dark Descent is a surprise. I don't think anybody knew that game was coming, and I think it's the perfect fit. I think having xenomorphs swarming the player will work very, very well in an isometric sort of twin-stick shooter. That game could be very fun. I'm not sure what sort of depth they'll add to the game because The Ascent was a pleasant surprise that many people praised. This game could land and really be a solid addition to the Aliens games that are out there. Callisto Protocol gameplay, finally getting an extensive look at that. I think the game looks fantastic. Many people continuing to say it looks like Dead Space. Well, of course it does. There's a reason for that. Many of the people that worked on Dead Space are actually making this game, and I thought Callisto Protocol looked like one that I'm going to particularly enjoy. Witchfire looks like just a stupid amount of creative fun. I enjoyed the fresh take on a first-person shooter. I thought that one looked like one that I would really enjoy, especially if there is co-op. I like the art style, the movement, and the combat. Outriders and Fall Guys, I feel, had solid trailers. We know that Outriders World Slayer Endgame stream is something we will be covering on Reforge Gaming today. I'm recording this on Friday. And Fall Guys just continues to be that super charming, great game. They had Valkyrie Raid, they had Courage in the trailer, and everybody's very excited about the free-to-play launch of that game on basically every platform except for mobile. The Goat Simulator 3 dig on Dead Island 2 I thought was rather brilliant. It even tricked Tom Henderson on Twitter. I thought that was, pretty funny. I thought it was very creative. Seemingly Goat Simulator skipping right over Goat Simulator 2 and jumping right to 3. We're not really sure what that's all about. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game and the music continues to look great and really harkens back to the great era of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games like Turtles in Time. And then you had The Quarry, you had Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide, you had Nightingale, and then a new Layers of Fear. I thought all of those trailers and announcements were good and exciting and looked excellent. And then The Last of Us finishes the show closer. That's going to be included in the bad for a couple of reasons, but I thought when they showed the comparison and what they've done with The Last of Us Remake, it was incredible. It was very, very impressive. Now, let's talk about the bad. I thought the segment with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was extremely awkward and unprofessional. It seemed just strange. It was filmed on a cell phone. It was really echoey. It didn't seem like any thought was put into it, and he was just constantly promoting every single thing that he's working on. It felt really awkward and odd. I'm not really sure why they did it, and I'm not really sure why it was done in the way that it was done. Gotham Knights showed no gameplay. We were hoping to maybe get a fresh look at that game. We did not see any gameplay for Midnight Suns. That may have been a mistake. It was like the video got cut short, but everybody's been kind of anxious to see Midnight Suns, and it was just a cinematic trailer. Cinematic trailers don't really have a place, I don't think, in showcases like this after the game has been announced, okay? You can do a cinematic trailer for your announcement if that's what you want to do, but once your game has been announced, if that's what you show up with, you're failing. I don't think that's what people want to see once they already know your game is coming. Now, The Last of Us, as an ace up the sleeve, was just absolutely ruined and deflated by all of the leaks. You got Troy Baker, you got screenshots from the show, the comparisons and what they're doing with The Last of Us Remake. It looks absolutely incredible, and just the absolute air was let out of that balloon because it got leaked hours before. If I was Jeff Keighley, I'd be furious about that. That was kind of his showstopper. That was him landing the plane. That was his big thing. Like, having Naughty Dog there was a big deal, but nobody really cared because everybody already knew about it. So sadly, they had to lean on a lot of smaller titles, and that's not Jeff's fault. I'm not going to fault Jeff Keighley if you primarily have to lean on smaller titles or video games that we already know are coming. Sony's involvement, I think, is bigger than folks understand, which was pretty overshadowed by the leaks. Having the Summer Game Fest logo on their State of Play last week, and then having Naughty Dog be there and announce this big, huge thing was actually pretty awesome, but it just didn't land as strong as it should have. So lastly, let's talk about the future. 2023 should be a significantly stronger year for the industry, which means these events are significantly better and more exciting. We are still crawling out from the shadow of 2020 and the sickie and working from home. We are not out from beneath that shadow just yet. I don't think that will happen until early to midway in 2023. That's when we will start to feel, okay, we can breathe again, we can stretch again, there's games coming, there's constant news, and I think that could also mean that E3 sneaks back in. E3 has confirmed they are coming back next year, and they may be able to snake some of the exclusivity from Jeff. I'm not sure. They still have a lot of connections. They might still have a lot of pull, okay? Summer Game Fest is also going digital and in person, which could help it maintain a solid non-E3 option for both people that want to travel and go to something like this, or those who want to sit at home. Those are my thoughts on the event. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Obviously, I was extremely disappointed about the lack of God of War Ragnarok. We thought, hey, they just updated the Sony store day before. That means they're getting ready to make an announcement. I'm actually pretty irritated that they did that. It was like, you guys could have just stayed absolutely quiet. Jason Schreier had already said he wasn't sure God of War Ragnarok was going to be there, while he simultaneously confirmed that the game is not getting delayed according to all of his sources. But to go into the store and to update that placeholder and to get everybody buzzing about your game the day before the kickoff event, I think is just kind of annoying. It's getting to the point where no one's like laughing, no one thinks it's quirky or funny that we don't have a release date yet. It isn't really cute, it isn't winsome. At this point, it becomes an annoyance, it becomes a nuisance. Now, they did, Sony Santa Monica replied to a tweet from The Last of Us from Naughty Dog on their big announcement, which I think irritated people even more. It's like, hey, either say something or shut up at this point, because we were all looking to this kickoff event. Now, again, they don't owe us anything at this point. If they want to wait for a Sony State of Play, that's totally fine, but really, to get everybody buzzing because you go through and mess with the date the day before the big event, you had to know that you were setting people up for disappointment and irritation. Those are my thoughts. Leave a comment below or head over to Reforge Gaming, where I stream live. As always, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see all of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys so much supporting the stream. I obviously listed lots of things that I thought were good about the showcase. I think, sadly, it's being overshadowed by the fact that everyone was looking for God of War Ragnarok. I was looking for it. You were looking for it. We were all looking for it. And that's not necessarily Jeff Keighley's fault. He did not set that expectation. Now, he did, I still think, when he responded to VGC's article and he said, hey, keep in mind that, Elden Ring was an announced title. Well, he made it seem like something the size of Elden Ring was going to be there. And there wasn't something the size of Elden Ring there. There was, I guess you could say that The Last of Us and Modern Warfare 2 gameplay is on par with the size and the scope of the draw and the excitement around Elden Ring. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is a massive title. It's very popular. So it's not surprising to me that that was sort of the kickoff to the event. That was one of the first things that they did because they really wanted to get people excited. Clay Road to Derp with a 5-month milestone. Thank you. Xbox and Sony big exclusives will always be shown at their own events. Not surprised we didn't see God of War Ragnarok at Summer Game Fest. Thank you for hitting that milestone and for renewing. I love a good nerd troll. What do you think was the nerd troll? The Goat Sim thing? I thought the Goat Sim thing was absolutely brilliant. Guys, make sure you're doing your morning ritual. Those of you that are here every single day, smash that like button. We're almost to our first 100 likes very quickly. Switch over to live chat. Let me know what you think. Jeff Keighley said, rank the show A, B, C, or D. I'm going to ask you guys the same question. Let's see. Summer Game Fest reaction. How would you grade the show? We're gonna do the same thing, A, B, C, or D, because his is landing in the BC area, which I actually think that's pretty good, given he's gotten 59,000 votes. If people are giving it B's and C's, that's actually pretty good. That means most people thought it was fine, it was average, it wasn't amazing, right? B's and C's are not that demoralizing. Like if I was him and I knew going out there that was what I had, and I got B's and C's from the audience, from 60,000 people voting on Twitter, I'd be like, okay, we didn't have a big showing. What are you gonna do? What's good, Feed? Good to see you in the chat. C started strong and then they talked too much. I don't mind talking in interviews and conversations. I think that that's totally fine. That doesn't bother me. That to me has never been a problem with these events. I'm never like, how dare they talk? How dare they do stuff? Like, that's not an issue for me. Evil West is confirmed for co-op play. Not sure if you were aware. Oh, I think Evil West looks dope. That looks dope. I'm really excited about that game. I'm curious if that Witchfire game is co-op. I don't know if we know more. Reforge is E3 this month. E3 is not happening this year. You were here yesterday and brought that up and were given an answer. I don't know why you're asking again. People in chat told you, I told you. There is no E3 this year, man. I opened the show, the opening 7 to 8 minutes of the show, I said, E3 is returning next year. They actually may snake and grab some of the exclusivity from Jeff Keighley. Like, he's trying to build something. He's trying to build something, and he didn't have a very strong year. I feel kind of bad for the guy. It's not his fault. Like, I'm not going to fault Jeff Keighley. It's not his fault that there are no big announcements. Do you know what I'm saying? It's what's he supposed to do? He can't fabricate games out of thin air. My phone volume's broken. I can kind of hear some information. It's a 7-year-old phone. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, there is no E3 this year. That's been known for months. Sony will have an August or September event. I think they need to have their event in July. There's rumors about a Ubisoft event in July. There's rumors about a Sony event in July. God of War Ragnarok not being there, I just was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, even if it was only the logo and an announcement about State of Play next month or something, that would have been something. You can't... Listen, if they would not have updated the store, I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't be angry. I'm both. I am both. You went in to the Sony store and you bumped the placeholder and you got the gaming press buzzing about Ragnarok the day before Summer Game Fest. Frick all the way off with that. You knew what you were doing and quit it. Knock it off. Quit messing with the public. It isn't funny. It isn't cute. No one's laughing. That's so funny. It's so charming to get the industry buzzing with rumors and articles and videos, and then you don't say anything. Frick off with that. Seriously. They did that knowing that was going to get everybody excited and oh my gosh, they're going to say something. It's going to happen. Jeff said on his Twitter that some things got changed around last minute. That was Creature's theory. Creature's theory was, he's like, something was off, man. He's like, the look on his face, he said stuff got cut. He's like, something wasn't right. He's like, something felt off about the event. I'm too busy looking at chat, checking my computer temperature and bit rate, making sure everything's running smoothly. I can't keep my eyes locked on Keighley the whole time. If they're not showing gameplay, I'm like checking all these different things. You've been laughing since yesterday? Oh, whatever, Eugene. We all thought the same thing. You want to get on some high horse like you think it's funny and you weren't expecting anything. You couldn't even watch because you got called to work. So don't even act like that you weren't thinking the same thing the rest of us were thinking. We were all thinking the same thing. Nobody went into that event thinking, they're just messing with us. They're just trolling us. Nobody thought that. Nobody even said that yesterday. The one thing was the game from Ukraine not being ready. Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed, but it's funny. I'm not upset over it. Okay, the reason I'm upset is because they knew what they were doing, and I don't like when companies mess with the public. I find it to be annoying. It is kind of funny. I don't... There is a funny angle to it. But I'm just irritated because, listen... Oh, there's a gnat down here. As a streamer, okay? As a streamer, we put a lot of stock into covering these events. I got him. We put a lot of stock into covering these events. We put a lot of time and energy into it. We get everything set. We set up the day. We navigate momentum. We navigate getting over there early. We do all this, and it's extremely disappointing that the kickoff to Summer Game Fest fell so flat. It's like, well, it's not Keighley's fault, but dadgummit, like, what are we supposed to do now? Like, we're going to cover IGN today. We're going to cover the Outriders event. I'm not covering the indie showcases tomorrow morning. What the frick are they gonna say? Now, Devolver showed some cool, games last night, but I'm super glad I didn't cover it. I'm like, there's nothing happening if that's your kickoff. Now, Xbox Bethesda could quite literally yank this thing out of the gutter. They could. They could be holding some hamdingers. I don't think that they are, but they could. I'm not going to write them off completely. They could be like, no, yeah. We're not giving anything big to Keighley. Yeah. We want to have our own big showcase, which we will be co-streaming the Xbox Bethesda showcase, okay? We will. I don't think it's that much of a failure. I didn't say failure. I said it fell kind of flat. He got 3 of the 4 biggest titles to come out, Last of Us, COD, and Callisto. God of War would have been present, it would have been S tier, but that's on Sony, not Keighley. Yeah, I am absolutely not holding Jeff Keighley responsible for any of that stuff. I think he is a professional, I think he's a super nice guy, and I think he did a great job. I don't hold him responsible for any of that. It's not his fault if people backed out or if people didn't want to be there. Devolver covered some cool stuff, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That was a quick one. Creature and I were agitated. We were like, we were supposed to have a big day yesterday. Our biggest day was, we got better coverage response when we looked at Sonic gameplay. And the Call of Duty reveal was bonkers insane. We've gotten better viewership playing Diablo Immortal and covering Sonic than we did for that event yesterday. That sucks. That's not what we want to see. We love covering live events. I love Jeff Keighley. And I was like, my gosh, nobody cared. You got to kick the frickin' ball through the uprights right at the beginning. And it was just like, it just wasn't there. It just didn't land. Xbox has some things being announced that will surprise us. I think so. I do. I think so. I think they've got some big stuff planned. They've got to. Cleaning out my garage and there's a snake. Oh boy. Not gonna lie, I was kind of entertained by your agitation. I wasn't really agitated during the show though. I didn't say anything during the show to be agitated. I ended the show and was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was irritated with Santa Monica. I was irritated with Sony Santa Monica. I was not irritated with Jeff Keighley. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You have the nerve and the gall to update that stupid game's placeholder until Metallica played. Oh, that was when I was angry. I was furious at frickin' Midnight Suns. I was like, are you joking around? We know your game is coming. It's already been announced. And all you manage to do when you show up to the event is play a copyrighted song and show a cinematic. Frick off. Get out of here. Shut up. No one cares about your stupid cinematic. We know your game is coming. We've seen the screen. Show us gameplay and quit playing copyrighted music during these events. Frick you and frick your music. Stop it. You're Marvel. Why are you doing that? Why are you playing Metallica? Just play some original music and show gameplays. Like, everybody does the same thing. They're like, world premiere. And they're like, how many copyrighted songs can we shove into one trailer? You got Jay-Z? Okay, cool. Throw him in there. Who do you got? Oh, you got Metallica? Throw them in there. What's that over there? Lady Gaga? Throw that in there. Shut up. No one wants your stupid copyrighted music. Get out of here. Just quit it. Just quit it. It's so irritating. It's like, we want to show your trailers. We do. We want to show your trailers. We want to show your stuff. And you always jam music into the trailers. It's so frustrating. Yeah, we got hit with claims, which means that the video's not monetized, which means it doesn't get recommended by YouTube. As soon as that happens, your video's dead in the water. As soon as you get a copyright claim, that you're dead in the water. That's why whenever we cover these events, you want to get all the viewership while it's live, because as soon as you're not live, in come the copyright claims, because every jackwagon, every marketing company in the world is like, I've got an idea. Let's put copyrighted music in the trailer. Jiminy frick. It's so annoying. It's like, are you paying attention to the industry at all? No one can show your trailer with the sound on. Purple warned their streamers to turn off VODs and clips. That's why you're so mad. I'm mad for multiple reasons. Lono spitting facts. World premiere, new Metallica remake. Oh yeah, and Midnight Suns. That's what I'm saying, man. Boomer execs, look at what happened to Morbius. That's what I'm saying. It's like, who's in charge of these trailers? Don't you want maximized exposure? If you want maximized exposure, quit putting copyright music in your freaking videos. Quit it. They don't want your WAD where people were able to go after the show. It could be purposeful. Oh, I don't know about that. If that's the strategy, Eugene, then they're freaking brain dead. Like, you want maximum exposure for your trailer. You really want to disincentivize people with millions of subscribers to, like, not show your stuff? It doesn't make any sense. You want maximum exposure. It's a freaking trailer. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not an episode of your show. It's not a movie. It's a trailer. You should literally say, no, let everybody show it. Let everybody react to it. Why would you not do that? You want everybody talking about your game. Top of mind marketing, maximized exposure, largest reach possible. And you're like, well, let's put a Metallica song in there. That'll really get the kids going. You know, they like that rock and roll. It's really taken off. You throw that in there. That'll be great. No, it won't. No, it won't. It'll literally hurt the exposure of your trailer. You can turn it down right at the start and avoid the claim. Well, you can't. What are you going to do? Welcome to the event, guys. I'm co-streaming. Oh, there's music. Mute. That's not going to work. No one wants to cover an event and turn the music off. No one wants to do that. You could, but why? Well, who wants to do that? What's hot with the kids? Metallica sounds great.
What are those kids listening to these days, Frank? What is it? Is it Metallica? They listen to those guys? Yeah. What else is hip these days? Are they still listening to the Beatles?
Like, what's going on? What's happening? Using copyrighted music saves a lot of effort. It'll resonate with the audience. They aren't concerned about streamers. I know they're not concerned about streamers. I know. I don't expect them to be. But if I was working for a game company, you know what I would say? Listen. We can spend a very small amount of the budget, or just use some of the original score, because plenty of these games have original scores. Just use some of the original score and throw that over the trailer. Well, why would you do that? Well, because what you're going to do is you're going to make it really easy for any YouTuber in existence to show your trailer and react to it. Well, why would we want that? Because you're maximizing your exposure. You can literally become popular on the internet if your thing is crappy. Like, we want as many people watching this as possible. You want to make it super easy. There are YouTubers with millions of subscribers, like millions. We're talking about maximizing reach here. Like, that's what I'm saying. From a business strategy, I actually think there's very good reason to say, no, we're not putting that in there. Number one, we got to deal with the record label. Then we got to deal with licensing. We might even have to pay a little bit of a royalty share to the dadgum label. Screw all that. No, just play some original soundtrack music, and then it'll get maximized playback, and it'll get maximized exposure. Oh, and we don't have to deal with Atlantic Records or whoever the frick. Like, don't you see? Like, I don't know why you'd want to deal with all that nonsense. They aren't worried about wide exposure since most go to the gaming sites. Marketing science shows that right side of the brain engagement music allows better retention versus convincing left logic side. So there's a literal psychological reason to them using Metallica? Well, frick, we're talking about it, aren't we? Dadgummit, it's working. It's working. It's working, Johnson. It's working. Or update music copyright. Allow streamers to play the original video. Well, the only good news is that we didn't get hit until super late in the day, so it took like a really long time. Usually, I hit the end broadcast button, and I'm like, hey, creature, let's talk about the next day. I get all these emails like back to back. It's like, oh, here they come. Hey, Noble Beast gifting 5 memberships. Love seeing faithful names get memberships. JC, Ravenous Poro, E-Man Did It, The Tiki Taki, and Ullman. There it is. Taking us a little bit higher. If we get 1,500 members, I have to eat a steak with ketchup. I said that thinking it would never happen, but we got to 1,200 members already. If you're enjoying the content, consider becoming a member. My wife and I will be playing Batman Arkham Knight, Goat Simulator, and Halo Master Chief Collection tonight. Tier 2 members can make us play certain games on Friday nights. So Friday nights with Madam is members only. So get a membership right now for $5. If you got gifted a membership, get in the Discord so you do not miss the Friday night streams and the community game nights. Community game night this month is Fall Guys on the 24th. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a blast. Fall Guys is going to be free to play on every single platform. It's going to be free on every single platform on the 21st. Let's see. I forgot to put on slow mode. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Oh no, the bots. Yeah. We did subscriber where you have to wait like a minute yesterday, and it stopped it. I don't know if that's helping or not. I don't want to do that though when we're covering something like this. We're having like a really strong start to the day. So, guys, give me 200 likes on this video. It's free to smash the like button. There's 430 people here right now. There's 40 people right now that can smash the like button who haven't done it. Do that for me. It does help the video. It is free to hit like. It is free to hit subscribe. Yo, it's good, Troll. We had a resub from Meech, a 10-month milestone Milestone, thank you so much. Congrats on all the recent growth. Triple Dip, you the best. Guys, don't forget, did you guys like that thumbnail this morning? I thought it looked bad, but it seemingly is getting a great response. We're getting a really, really strong start. Don't forget, we did change this. Look at these bags, man. Reforge Roast. If you have never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you should try Reforge Roast. Use the coffee command in chat or the coffee link below. We will have an update for you next week as well with the web presence. Very excited to debut that, but we got to debut the bags this week. I got a sticker on my mug as well. There you go. Reforge Roast. That's a commercial, official. We're gonna ship that in the global market in multiple countries. Jury duty really gets in the way of viewership. Cheers, everyone! Happy Friday, yo, Noble Beast. Thank you so much for 10 months of membership. Welcome back, almost an entire year. You're not buying God of War Ragnarok? Okay, cool. I'll buy 2 copies to make up for, you know, they're really gonna miss your non-purchase. What are people saying here? Man, most people don't know. Marketing is just trash to them. All the young kids are even worse. They literally just block brands. Sriracha halted their bottles, so there's definitely going to be a shortage there. What do you mean Sriracha halted their bottles? What are you talking about? I really enjoyed that shorts video of you roasting the troll. Oh, that reminds me. I got to put another one live. I got another one ready, and I forgot to put it live. Yeah, the troll roast short was it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It was excellent. I'm very proud of my work with that troll roast. I'm very, very proud of that one. That was a good one. I got one right now. It's not going to hit your sub feeds, but it will hit the short shelf. If you ever see my shorts in the shelf, give them a gander. They allow you to do 50-second shorts, so I've got one today, the sticky hand commercial. That was the one. Let's check the poll at the top of the chat here. Summer Game Fest reaction. How would you grade the show? Already 341 votes. Most people are picking C. 44% are saying C. 31% are picking B. So it's very similar to Jeff Keighley's poll on Twitter. 20% are saying D and 5% are saying A. That's almost exactly how his poll looked on Twitter. So most people are giving this thing a C or a B, with C leading the pack. Not surprising. Did you ever get the video claimed for the images and not the music itself? No. We got hit with the... we even got hit for the Rocks trailer. It was like, thanks for showing up, Rock, and shoving an energy drink in my face. Oh, and his trailer got claimed, too. Thank you so much for showing up. Very, very, very pleased with that appearance. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, make sure nobody shows your movie trailer, because that would be awful, wouldn't it? That'd be terrible for your stupid frickin' movie trailer to be seen by more people. Jiminy frickin' Christmas. Can I have somebody's cereal, please? That guy's username is literally, I broke into your house and stole your cereal. That's a, you know, there are certain crimes that are unforgivable, and I think that's one of them. Do you know how bad somebody's day would be? Like, the kids get up, it's time for school, and they're getting ready to eat their Lucky Charms or their Golden Grams, and it's all gone. All they have are bowls of milk, and you did that. You did that to their day. You bet Doc will have something to do with Netflix gaming today, even if it's small? Yeah, maybe. You're on it this morning? I'm feeling good. Even though I'm irritated. Like, Creature said it. He was like, if that's the kickoff for the event, there's nothing left, right? Now, listen, I will say this. The silver lining in all of this is God bless the indies, okay? The indie titles, the smaller titles, the lesser-known guys. This is the year for the little guy. It is. It's the year for the little guy. They're getting to really get some spotlight treatment. And people are starting to say, man, these indie titles actually look kind of good. You know, I play this. This looks pretty nice, you know? I think it's the year for the little guy. You know, you had, 3 big titles show up yesterday. One was a dadgum remake. Listen, that Last of Us remake looks incredible. I didn't realize it until they did side-by-side. Have you seen some of the side-by-sides of the Last of Us Remake? It looks insane. Like, wow. It looks so good. Report. Microsoft Kinect creator resigns after being accused of what? Of watching? Is that old news? Yeah. That's old, isn't it? It looked great. Instant buy for my PC. Angerfoot looks fun. Yeah, Angerfoot looks pretty good. It does. The remake or the remaster. It's an entire remake. Did you see the comparisons? Did you see the comparisons? It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. It's obvious. It's honestly not funny. We want God of War Ragnarok. I'm telling you. I feel bad for the Last of Us announcement because that was a big announcement, but because of God of War, it didn't get the love they wanted. Well, okay, but they also got the win taken out of their sails because the stupid leak. Whoever leaked that is a son of a gun. Like, come on. You couldn't give them a couple of hours. It's not like you leaked it a week ahead of time. You couldn't give them a couple hours. Sony did? Sony didn't leak that. Sony didn't leak that. A person leaked that. You think a Sony executive leaked that? Yo, Reaper just gifted 5 memberships. Kino, Jake, Crazy Viking, Clown Shoes, and Alex. 5 gifted memberships. Boom, 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 boom. Already grabbed that quick. You mean the Sony store? They put it in the Sony store. What? That's the source of the leak? That's the leak? What? Why? What is happening? Who is in charge of the Sony store? Are they drunk? Are they actually drunk? Way to be in tune. Frick you. I didn't know that happened. I'm covering 18 different things at once. You guys put stuff in the Discord all day. Way to be in tune. Shut up, Eugene. Way to be in tune. Shut up. Who is in charge of the stores? They don't give a crap about these shows? What do you mean they don't give a crap about these? So they send Troy Baker and all the assets to Keeley. All those, the graphics and the way they set the stage and scene, and they don't care about any of that? Who's in charge of the Sony store? Who is the drunk that was like, yeah, update the God of War Ragnarok date, do that the day before Summer Game Fest, so everybody thinks that Ragnarok will be there. Oh, and I got a good idea. Let's add the Last of Us Remake to the store a couple of hours before the reveal. We've already hurt Summer Game Fest by messing with the placeholder date of God of War Ragnarok, so let's also undercut the biggest announcement. You're stupid. You're literally stupid. You couldn't be more stupid. Why would you do that? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Let's get everybody buzzing about Ragnarok the day before Summer Game Fest. And after we do that, I've got another crack squad idea. Let's leak the big announcement for the end of the show that The Last of Us Remake is coming. Who the frick is doing this? Who's that stupid? I don't know why you're taking piss out. This technology crap happens. Oh, stop defending ineptitude. Stop it. Stop defending ineptitude. This stuff's supposed to be locked down. The whole point, there is money spent, contracts signed. This stuff's supposed to be locked down. And you go into the Sony store and have an oops-a-daisy? What year is it? It's 2022. What do you mean this happens? No! It's inexcusable. You got Keeley all year round promoting this event, navigating announcements, keeping things quiet. PC Gamer literally said 2 days before the event, it was crazy how almost nothing had leaked yet. Almost nothing had leaked. This guy's invested money and all this time, and you're like, oops, we let it out. Get the frick out of here. It happens all the time. Yeah, that excuses it. Yeah, it happens all the time. So does murder. What the frick? Wait, it happens all the time? They literally couldn't leave the store alone for 48 hours? You know what I'm saying? You can't leave the store? Torpedoing an event's headline exclusive. Yeah, and being like, well, this happens. It's technology, am I right? Technology. I mean, it's literally the world that we live in, and it's how we make our money and how we operate. I mean, but it's, who knows? Who can handle these things? They're so unwieldy. Just don't do anything. Don't do anything for like 48 hours. I'm of opinion, if not leaked, would still be a same letdown. No, I don't think so. Talk about a false dichotomy. Leaks equate murder. That's not a false dichotomy. You're misusing the term. False dichotomy is where you say it's either this or this, and you're creating a false binary. That's not what I'm doing. I was just saying you can't act like this is totally okay because it happens all the time. It's ineptitude. It's like a game launching buggy and people being like, games launch buggy all the time, right? So let me be less hyperbolic. Just because it happens all the time doesn't mean it's incredibly stupid and irresponsible. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, well, games launch buggy all the time. Does that excuse Cyberpunk? Are you going to excuse Cyberpunk with some stupid platitude about like, well, this stuff happens all the time, so I don't understand why people are so surprised. Like, no. It's unbelievable. We're like, the way that they set these events up, he literally saved that for the end. He saves it for the end. The idea is it's like, you couldn't leave the store alone for 48 hours? Like, look at what they did. Stop defending Sony for a second and just think about what they did. If Xbox would have done this before their showcase, you Sony guys would be ripping them. You'd be shredding them. There goes Xbox. That's what you'd be doing. You'd 100% be taking the piss. You would if Xbox would have done this. But because it's Sony, it's okay, this kind of, this stuff happens, guys, right? You just completely torpedo the flagship, showstopper for the event of the summer. It's tough. This stuff happens all the time. If Microsoft did it, you'd be shredding them. You'd 100% be like, yeah, good job, Microsoft. Way to ruin your own show, Microsoft. Microsoft got a Microsoft. You 100% would. You 100% would be taking the piss. Don't even pretend that you wouldn't be. The frick out of here with that. It's absolutely fundamental to announcements. To you either do like the accidental leak, right? You do the accidental leak, or you stay locked up, right? How much harder, right? I literally said Sony, Microsoft, and Steam Marketplace have it happen all the time. I don't know why you're projecting this hard. I'm not projecting. I don't like this. The Spider-Man PC hit so incredibly hard because nobody saw it coming. It was like, oh my gosh, right? You misunderstand, Lono. Leaking it early is part of the premium PlayStation experience. Yeah, you get game demos and you get leaks. You like if you look at the scope of what they did, they look stupid. How could you not look at Sony and be like, you guys look dumb right now? You just look dumb. You updated the placeholder for Ragnarok the day before the big E3 replacer. So everybody's assuming here comes an announcement, and then you do nothing. So, okay. And then you're not done yet. You have an oopsie-daisy with your store, and you leak the Last of Us Remake that's the big crescendo showstopper show-ending thing, and you ruined that announcement. You look dumb. That just looks stupid. You can't convince me that they don't look stupid. They look absolutely dumb. It's like, we're not going to tell you about Ragnarok after getting everybody talking about Ragnarok, and then our other big announcement that we have, we're going to leak it with a mistake and an oopsie-daisy in the store. The reveal was clearly planned for Sony Game Fest, and Neo was clearly salty about it, but don't act like this crap doesn't happen all the time. Sure, it doesn't happen all the time, but you know what's funny? Kids fall all the time when they're on roller skates, and do you know what you do because they fall all the time when they're on roller skates? You make them wear a helmet. You make them wear knee pads and elbow pads, right? You take the proper precautions. If this kind of thing happens all the time, like, I don't know, maybe have the store scheduled for the update the day after the announcement so that this kind of thing doesn't happen. You know, like, I don't know, just pretty basic logic and precaution and business planning of, it's pretty common that these stores get drugged by bots and web crawlers and these little API tools, and they'll sniff this one out the minute that it hits. So let's not do anything. Let's not do anything till after the show. Like, leave it be. Don't do anything. Everybody hold. It's not that big of a deal. And then they can have their big announcement. Like, come on. Come on. It happens all the time. So, just who cares? Why are they so scared for Ragnarok? I don't think they're scared for Ragnarok. I think they want to own the announcement for Ragnarok. I think they want to own it. Ragnarok seems like it's getting announced at its own state of play. Oh, I agree with that. 100%. I think that they have decided that they want it. It's theirs. That's why I thought, well, at the bare minimum, they would have ended Keeley's show, and Keeley would have been like, everybody's been waiting to hear more about this game. We have a big announcement. Fade to black. And it would be like, don't. And it would like, the logo would come up. God of War Ragnarok. Lightning would flash. Don't. State of play. July. And with like a date and time. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I thought, I was like, if you're not going to say something, it might be good to be like, we're going to. That's what I thought was going to happen bare minimum, is they're going to say, we want to announce it. We want it to kind of be our thing. But that's why you would have Main Stage Keeley. He was the #1 trending video on YouTube when he was live. Like, everybody was tuned in. And you would have gotten this huge... That would have been the, oh my gosh, it's coming, oh my gosh, it's happening, like all of the memes, all the tweets, all that momentum. It would have been great. It would have been perfect. That's why I thought bare minimum we're going to get that, because you don't lose by doing that. It's like Sony doesn't lose any power if they do that. Lono all greened out today, looking good. Yeah, we got all I went green because Sony ticked me off. Sony made me so mad. I was so ticked. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm even more mad now that I got more angry when I learned that the Last of Us 2 remake leak was them. It was them. It was like, what are you, huh? I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I got more angry. I was like, you troll everybody with Ragnarok and then you let the air out of Keeley's balloon? Why? What are y'all doing over there? Never said the reveal doesn't have value. I said Lono places value in the reveal. I personally don't. Oh, I think the reveal is a big deal. I thought that's why they were going to give it to Keeley, because I felt like this is it. This is the kickoff, What was the leak? The remake's old news? Well, but it wasn't old news. There was already leaks and whispers and rumors, all unconfirmed, Kaiser. All the stuff about Last of Us Remake was all unconfirmed. When it hits the Sony store, it's like, oh, that's confirmed. That's basically the softest, that's the hardest non-confirm, that's the hardest soft confirmation you can get when it hits the dadgum store early. I was so angry yesterday, that whole thing was just bad. Yeah. Like, we were very, very, very disappointed. It was the full trailer also on the store? Yeah, it was the full trailer. Like, it was like confirmation. It was like, oh my gosh. Where was Forspoken? No word. Well, no, actually, Outlaw. Oh my gosh, yeah, we completely forgot about Forspoken. I think that points to Sony's strategy. There will likely be a God of War Ragnarok state of play and a Forspoken state of play. Yeah. The show was bad. Most of the games were bad. The leaks were bad. The lack of info was bad. The Rock was bad. Hard disagree on most of the games are bad. No. Modern Warfare 2 mission looked good. Street Fighter looked good. Aliens Dark Descent looked good. Callisto Protocol, Witchfire, Outriders trailer and Fall Guys trailer, Goat Simulator 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Quarry, Warhammer Darktide, Nightingale, New Layers of Fear. That there were plenty of really, really good showings. I don't think saying most of the games were bad. I don't agree with that. I feel like there were plenty of very solid and good games and good announcements. I thought it was Routine. I forgot about Routine. Yeah. I thought it was fine. They needed an Ender, and the Ender got its legs chopped off by a stupid leak. So they had nothing. If I was I'm trying to listen. I've sat main stage. I've been in this environment. Lights on, cameras on, big audience, big expectations, right? I've been in this environment, and if I was the guy planning it, and I was the lead dude on the mic, and that happened to my showstopper, my show ender, I would have been livid. I would have been absolutely furious. Like, the frick are you doing, Sony? Are you fricking kidding me? You couldn't leave the store alone for 24 hours? What kind of a world do we live in? It's a digital age. You couldn't wait until after the show to start fiddling with stuff? Are you actually kidding me? Do you know how much money I've sunk into this? Do you know how much time I've sunk into this? Are you joking around right now? I would have been absolutely blood-boiling furious. All that time, all that energy, keeping things locked down, keeping things tight, and then that happens. And it's not some dumb intern. It's not some marketing company. It's Sony. It's the Sony storefront. I would have been furious. Absolutely furious. There's no excuse. You made that's the crazy thing. You made it all the way to that day. You couldn't make it one more day? You couldn't make it one more day. You made it all the way to June 9th. And you couldn't make it another couple of hours. I'd be freaking furious. Jeff's gonna write, don't be a bonehead clause in the contracts with Sony going forward. Oh my gosh. Sounds like we're still mad about God of War. Well, that's the thing, is I said it this morning, Bowers. Had they not updated the God of War Ragnarok release date placeholder, had they not done that, I wouldn't be angry with them. I'd be disappointed, but I'd be like, well, man, they must want to do their own state of play, But the fact that my blood pressure's fine. Some of this is showmanship. But the fact that they did that the day before, they get everybody spun up, they knew what they were doing, they were manipulating the public, they were manipulating the gaming press. Okay. And then they don't show anything. And then they double down. They're like, well, not only did we use the Sony store to pull a looky-loo on everybody, but the big Sony announcement at the end of Summer Game Fest, we're going to ruin that too. We're not done. Not only did we trick everybody and pull a looky-loo with the God of War Ragnarok release date placeholder, oh golly, we're not done yet. The Last of Us Remake, the big end of the show, yeah, we're gonna mess that up too. Yeah, we're not done. we're gonna swing full here, never go full, and they're like, we're gonna go full. We're gonna go full. We've been doing too good. So Sony's been doing too well. All right, we gotta have a fumble. We gotta have at least one ball fumble. Let's have a big one. Let's have a big one. You made it all the way to hours before the show, and you're like, oh man, somebody tripped on a cord. Yeah, sorry about that. Enjoy your show, Keely. Oh man. Doc was talking about it during his Last of Us gameplay. Come on, why do you think Doc played it all week? It's not even Doc's type of game, and he covered it all week before Summer Game Fest. Well, I mean, Doc got the inside scoop on something. Sure. Homie. Track with me here, track with me. I'm gonna use two comparisons here to show you why it was so important for them to say nothing. Okay? All of the whispers and the rumors and the guessing about God of War Ragnarok, and what happened? Everybody tuned in for God of War Ragnarok. Why? They want that confirmation. They want that date. They want that trailer. So you got whispers, you got leaks, you got rumors about the Last of Us Remake. Okay? Why is Doc playing it? Does he know something? What's going on? Oh my gosh. And then everybody's going to tune in and be like, oh, it's happening. Oh my gosh, look at the comparisons. This is awesome. Instead, as soon as they take the stage and start talking about The Last of Us, everybody's like, we already know, bro. Yeah, it got leaked a couple hours ago. Sorry. Yeah, it's confirmed by the Sony store. I saw a trailer already. What's next? What else you got? Like, everybody tuned in because of the whispers and the lack of confirmation surrounding God of War Ragnarok. So, the same thing would have applied to The Last of Us Remake. People would have been like, oh, I definitely want to tune in. I definitely want to see if this thing gets confirmed or announced. It was literally the show ender. The actual show ender was that, and they couldn't make it 5 more hours, keeping it quiet. They had a digital oopsie-daisy, and it just, I don't know. I was already kind of let down because Creature said it last night on the phone to me. He was like, if this is it, if this is what they have to kick the events off, then there's not much left to talk about. Again, unless Xbox is keeping some big old giants under their hat. I do think it's no coincidence that Doc played it all week before this, and he called it out about the Last of Us BR2. Yeah, Storm, I gave you a bit of a jab in chat yesterday for that. You understand that the Doc was literally doing and saying things that have already been announced. Things I've already covered on this show and over on radio. The Last of Us BR, we covered that. We did a video on it. The factions thing, that Doc's not in some special class of prediction when he's reading the same articles the rest of us are. Oh yeah, guys, there's a Last of Us BR coming. Ooh. What crystal ball did you look at, Doc? Oh, the article that I read too? Yeah, good job. Like, that's why I gave you a bit of a jab in chat. I was like, Doc wasn't saying anything that wasn't already known. Or, I'm sorry, it was rumored and unconfirmed, right? It was a bunch of rumors and unconfirmed. So yeah, like, I wasn't trying to tell you to hush or be quiet. It was like, come on, man. These rumors have been circling for a long time. Like, I make predictions, but if I make a prediction that is basically me just reading a Game Rant article, then that's not a prediction. Come on. The Last of Us thing was BR. They all but said it. Yeah, they all but said it. It was a giant piece of art, and he said, "This is huge." They really stressed how it was big, right? Usually your predictions are on par too. Yeah, but there's a big difference between making a prediction and reading an article and being like, oh yeah, that's coming. And it's like, but that was in an article. Like, you know what I mean? Now, if Doc predicted it before the Last of Us faction stuff started coming out, then I would give him a little bit of credit. I mean, I'm sure he's got insiders and inside information. I'm sure that he does. But when you said that, you're like, oh, we said that the other day. I was like, we covered that weeks ago. That's not really a prediction. You know what I mean? Doc was literally calling for a Halo BR before Halo came out. Yeah, again, Storm, him calling for a Halo BR, that's Doc. That's Doc playing his cards right. We already know there's a BR coming. There was a giant streamer in a group DM that confirmed that there was a BR coming, right? We know these things. So Doc was on the same inner circle that got that info, and he played his cards. So think of it from the Doc's perspective. He tells everybody that there needs to be a battle royale in Halo, right? Why? So when it comes, he'll be like, I told you, champions. I told you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all part of the show. He's saying that knowing that the battle royale is coming. Like, because he's not the only one that knows that. Doc called for a Resident Evil BR when he played Village, so that's just Doc being Doc. Yeah, it might be a meme at this point. Just everything should be a BR, you know. He'll play Hearthstone and be like, this should be a BR, you know. I predict a new Resident Evil game, so now I'm the Oracle. I'm going to have to go back and watch past broadcast about the Last of Us factions, though. I couldn't even tell you where we put that. Creature would have to tell you where that was. It was either on radio or... Where'd we put that, Creature? Did we put that on updates? Or did we not do it? We might have gave it a passing mention one day, because there was an article. I thought I recorded a video on it. Maybe I didn't. I might have decided not to. We actually might not have covered it, but there was an article weeks ago. That was the main point isn't like, we covered it, give us credit. That wasn't what I was trying to say. My point was, this was reported weeks ago. Stray BR would be super entertaining. Oh, with the cat? Yeah. Could we get some more likes on the video? 266 likes. I bet you we can hit 300 likes just like that. Be sure to take the poll. You didn't do it. If you turn 60-second sub on, back on, no bot. Yeah, but when we're riding a strong day, I don't like doing that because there's going to be new people that want to come in and talk. I'm not going to let the bot do that. One spam in the chat is not worth not turning that setting on. I did it during the live show because I got tired of it because the live show chat was moving so fast. Just wait for Facebook Metaverse. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. They also have Call of Duty now. Xbox has so many multiplayer games. Gears Halo. Oh yeah, and Gears Halo. Well, they're about to own Blizzard Activision, so you may want to slow down with your shade there, because it's probably going to end up being shade that you're living in, because that Xbox is not messing around, my friend. Microsoft is not messing around. They're making big moves. They're making big plays. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute for it to really come to fruition, but Xbox is not messing around. What are we getting today? Oh, strong browse. Okay. Well, if you're new and you've never been here before, we're not getting suggest and search today. We're getting browse. So I was literally probably like on your homepage right there for you to click on. If you came in, I appreciate that so much. I'm a safe for work broadcaster. So many people subscribe to the channel and they throw me on in the background of their day like a video game podcast. I do multiple shows Monday through Friday, so be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my coverage. We will be co-streaming the IGN Expo today, hoping for some good announcements there, maybe more looks at Sonic Frontiers, and then we will also be co-streaming the Outriders World Slayer Endgame stream today. So we're going to try and give you as much coverage as we can. I don't know about future game show tomorrow, like that's the thing tomorrow. You were my recommended, so I subbed. Thank you, Curse. That's why I don't want to turn on that minute-long subscriber thing, because I knew I was seeing names in chat I had never seen before. Pit Viper gifting 5 members, and they're going quick. Justin got one. Trayson got one. Scott got one. Arnold got one. Bappo need contento. What the frick? All 5 memberships have been grabbed. What time is IGN? Is it noon or 1? I think it's noon, isn't it? We were going to go over like 30 minutes early and get ready. If you guys just got gifted a membership or you're a recent member, remember, members remember, okay? Members remember to get in the Discord. There is a members only stream tonight with my wife. They are hilarious. You don't want to miss out. There is now 1,270 members. We are 30 members from 1,300. That's unbelievable. 1,400 is the next emote. 1,500 I have to eat a steak with ketchup. I shouldn't have said that because we're still really early in the month. Hyped about the Outriders announcement. I want to deep dive into the end game, but I really want them to say, hey, we also made our sound design not trash. It's 100% fact that Microsoft is working on pumping out some bigger first-party games, even in well-known franchises, some of which will be taking away third-party games Sony is used to getting. No, I don't think so. What games do you think aren't going to land on Sony once Microsoft has them? What games? Time difference? How many hours is it in? IGN is in 2 hours and 45 minutes, I think. Where can I buy that mug? Okay, so the sticker, we're working on merch that will have this on it. This is just a sticker on, this is a Yeti mug. This is a Yeti mug. But you can buy my coffee. You can buy my coffee. Reforge Roast. We have a light roast and a dark roast. If you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you should try my coffee. Use the coffee command. Reforge Roast is incredibly tasty. IGN is in San Francisco. No, I know that. I know. It's at 9 a.m. their time, so that's 10, 11, 12. Oh, it's at 12. It's at 12. Yeah, it's at 9 a.m. their time. And so we'll go over there around 11:30. So it's actually in less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours. My mistake. I thought it was 1 p.m. Eastern. It's 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry. All these times, it's like hard to remember everything. Yeti does make great mugs. I don't guzzle my coffee, so I love a Yeti because it stays warm for hours. Like, I brewed this coffee at 7:30, and it is almost 10:30. It's still warm. It is still at that great drinkable warmth. All the Microsoft main games are multi-platform. They have like 5 series. How do I tell if I'm a member so I can join in the stream? Keegan, you have a green name and a joystick next to your name in chat. You are a member. Somebody gifted a membership and you must have gotten you must have gotten it. I've grown tired of these dark roast versus light roast battles. I can't save the light roast drinkers. They're too far gone. Let's get 300 likes. We need 5 more likes on the video. Let's check the poll here. Summer Game Fest reaction. How would you grade the show? 42% are giving it a C. 31% are giving it a B. That means that 73% are giving it a B or a C. So I think that's not terrible. Like, it's like, hey, it was an average show. It wasn't bad. It wasn't necessarily bad. 10 gifted memberships from Mr. Glum. Icebreaker. My man Icebreaker got one. Kenny. Curse. A brand new viewer today. Curse got one. BMS. Will. Gerwin. Michael. Benny703. Guillermo. Mexican Coconut. And that's all 10. Just like that. Putting us 20 members away from 1,300. That's insane. My wife says that the coffee is a 9.5 out of 10 today. I made her some light roast. She actually prefers dark roast, but I've been making her the light roast. She didn't even know she liked the light roast. I'm telling you, if you've...
The only reason it wasn't a 10 out of 10 is because I couldn't drink it in my cup. 39 degrees.
I got her an Ember cup for Mother's Day? What holiday was that? Valentine's Day? Yeah. I got it too. I got her a nice Ember... You're ridiculous. I got her an Ember cup for Valentine's Day, and she really likes
totally
it.
Worth it.
Do you think Xbox will ditch Xbox Live restrictions?
No.
They're going to put everything on Game Pass. Everything's going to require Game Pass. Oh, you meant in the Discord? Keegan, the only reason we tell you to get in the Discord is because I ping the Discord with an announcement every time I go live. YouTube does a bad job of putting members-only content in front of you. So you'll never miss out on members-only content if you're in the Discord. Now, if you really want to get everything in the Discord, you need to go to your user settings, click on connections, and connect Discord and YouTube, and it'll let you in all these extra rooms because you're a member. So tonight, my wife and I will be playing Batman Arkham Knight, the Master Chief Collection.
Slide under gates. So
The Master Chief Collection and Goat and Goat Simulator. And Goat Simulator.
What is a goat simulator?
It's a simulator where you play as a goat.
So we just run around yelling?
Yeah.
Can you give us your best impression of a goat?
I'm already a goat. I don't need to impersonate one.
There is not a goat. There's the goat, and you are not him.
First thing that comes up when you Google it, my friend, Xbox chief Phil Spencer confirms that Elder Scrolls is exclusive to Xbox platforms and won't be on PlayStation. Oh, that's actually true. That is one of the ones that Xbox has said is a property that's theirs. Yeah. So if you like this banter and my wife roasting me up like a fine chopped fish, then, you know.
You like to puke in the back of your throat. Stay on this channel and don't listen to Discord.
Then make sure you're here tonight for the stream with my wife. Make sure you're here if you're a member. So many green names in chat. I expect to see a ton of people here tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern. If you don't
More
see
like
the
8:30, but we'll see you at 8.
Whose fault is that?
The people that you've made.
Oh, I made them.
I was just minding my own business.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, you'll need to check the actual channel or the community tab on the channel, or again, just be in the Discord so you don't miss the announcement when we go live, okay? Because it's you're not gonna like open up the YouTube app or YouTube and it's gonna be like, here's the member stream. It does not do that, okay? I try to ping you with a members only community post, but that's the best I can do. New Jason Schreier tweet. What's he saying? What's old Schreier saying? Despite widespread rumors, Sony's God of War Ragnarok was not delayed. According to people familiar with the project, video game development is turbulent and the game could very well slip again, but as of this week, it's planned for November. He's saying November. God of War Ragnarok, I said October or November. I kept saying, I don't think December. I think early November. That was my guess yesterday. I said, my guess is early November. And Schreier is saying, according to his sources, its planned release is November, which would make sense. With the fourth quarter bump that they did in the store. YouTube pings me about the member stuff regardless of the notification setting, just an FYI. Yeah, but a lot of people, Murph, come in and they're like, I couldn't find the video. So that's why we're stressing just getting in the Discord to ensure that nobody misses it. In my opinion, everything was wrong. I wasn't expecting it to be that weak. Hopefully, it will be stronger compared to yesterday. I'm expecting Sunday to be strong. Yeah, Microsoft could have a big day on Sunday. Is it possible to gift subs on mobile? I don't know. Hit the $ at the bottom of the chat and see if there's an option to gift members. What if he's using you as his source? No, Schreier has like actual sources in the industry. He has, legitimate, connected people that know stuff,
Unlike you.
Yeah, unlike me.
Like your green shirt.
Thanks, Mama.
It's goodie.
If you guys like my shirt, you can use code Lono at 80stees.com. We are partnered with them. 80stees.com. Use code Lono, L-O-N-O, Lono for 30% off. If you use the shirt command in chat right now, the link will take you to the Father's Day collection. They've got great shirts for Father's Day. Get a great gift for Dad. Slowa, the 7 Slowa with an 8-month milestone. Thank you for renewing your membership. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. I am doing great.
Didn't ask how I was doing.
Why would you expect God of War to show up at Summer Game Fest? Because they updated the placeholder date the day before the event? Maybe that is the reason? Maybe? Maybe. I'm just kidding. Can we just get an actual next-gen game for this cycle of consoles? An actual next-gen game like Returnal, Ratchet and Clank? Were those not good enough? What about Horizon Forbidden West with cinematic lighting and amazing resolutions and 60 FPS? It did have pop-in and performance issues, but most of those have been patched. Like, what are you talking about? Cal with 2 months of membership. Morning, Lono. Love the show. Thanks for hitting the 2-month milestone, Cal. Yeah, the Demon Souls remake, totally a next-gen title. That's right. Demon Souls remake. Forgot about that one. Okay. Bet God of War getting a whole show for it. The last Kratos game is going to be huge. Xbox technically has better hardware. False. And they're working on getting even better than Sony with first parties, which will take a little bit more time, but there are many reasons to go Xbox. Yeah, the hardware debate's foolish and you know it. The hardware debate's just silly. It doesn't have better hardware. That's not objectively true. That's not technically true. Every single tech analysis I've looked at, every expert in the field doesn't agree with you. It's not verifiably true. It isn't. I've not looked at a single reputable source that has said that. You and other fans of the box have said that. Every article I read from Tech Analysis have been like, no, they're basically the same. God of War would only be showed at a Sony event like their September showcase or State of Play. Yeah, I know. I thought they would at least announce that, though. I thought they would at least announce it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to kill off Kratos. I don't think they're killing off Kratos in this game, but I do think eventually they hand the game off to Atreus. Parts of one are better, parts of the other are better. That's why it's silly to say that one is technically better. That's just, I've not seen a single reputable source conclude that. All of the comparisons said, this is a little bit stronger over here, and this is a little bit stronger over here, making it a wash. They have similar performance, but it has better hardware. That's factual. No concessions going to come from me on that. I don't need concession from something that's not true. I don't need concession on it. I've read at least 4 different tech articles on this. Not a single person has said what you're saying. I've not seen a single article that's like, yeah, technically speaking, the Xbox is superior. Like, no, I've never seen anybody say that. What's your opinion on Sonic Frontiers? I think Sonic Frontiers could make some changes to the aesthetic, color saturation, and the gameplay, and I think it could be a really, really fun game. It is true. What do you mean? No, you haven't substantiated the claim. You just told me to Google it. The burden of proof is on you. You're making the claim, so back it up. You can't just make a claim and tell me to go do your research. You're wanting me to go Google it. Substantiate the claim. You're a bright guy. You got Discord. What article, what technical analysis, what authority in the industry has said what you're saying? Show me. Burden of proof's on you. I posted him before on this argument before. If you got to give me more than one article that just gives you what you want. I need an actual consistency in the market, not just one article that says what you're saying, because it could be a biased article. Do you have multiple sources that are all saying the same thing, or do you have one mommy blog that says it, right? Like, are we going to play the Facebook game? I need actual, consistency in the market analysis, not one blog. Do you see what I'm saying? I could find a blog that says the PlayStation's better. Ars Technica? Okay, what are they saying? Which new console is worth your hundreds? Our direct comparison offers an answer. Hardware design, hardware power. Do they have a conclusion somewhere? I'm trying to do the too long didn't read here. Can I do a too long didn't read? Do they have that somewhere? Zubair. Whatever the outcome, the lack of massive differences or issues with either platform at this point is optimistic. Comparable AMD architecture in all consoles, along with solid game services competition. That's silly. It's way too old. Yeah, I need a too long didn't read. That is a freaking book. That's a very, very long article. Can you get a choice quote, a choice conclusion out of there? I'm telling you, I remember looking at this. They agree with you. Scroll down a little. They agree with me. Scroll down a little. Do you got a spot for me? Is it in a certain section? Is it under hardware power? Boo 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 boo. PS5 appears to have loading time edge in some cases, but the differences across next-gen consoles are minor at this point. Meanwhile, Xbox Series enjoys the benefits of quick resume, allowing near-instant swapping from game to game. On the PS5, you have to endure a quick load from the menu. Oh, when it comes to running actual games, the Xbox Series X and the PS5 are practically indistinguishable. Third-party titles available on both systems look and run almost identically, and you'd be hard-pressed to pick one from the other in blind tests. Yeah, but Distorted's point is, at a technical level, one is superior. And every article I ever read on this said, PlayStation's got this thing that's faster, and the Xbox has this thing is faster. It's kind of a wash, because they both excel in one area that the other doesn't, and so it becomes, as you're saying, indistinguishable from that quote. It's like, well, how do you know which one's better? What I think of the show last night, I thought it was good and not great. There were elements that were disappointing. I listed all of the good things I thought they showed. I thought Modern Warfare 2 mission gameplay looked awesome. Street Fighter 6 looked good. Aliens Dark Descent, I think, will be a very good isometric twin-stick shooter. I think that's a great environment for, like, the swarming xenomorphs. Callisto Protocol gameplay looked fantastic. Witchfire looks really fun and creative. Outriders and Fall Guys had strong trailers. Goat Simulator 3, the dig on Dead Island 2 was brilliant. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game and the music just continues to look like a classic iteration on the title. The Quarry, Warhammer Darktide, Nightingale, and a new Layers of Fear, all strong showings. And then The Last of Us show closer was solid, even though it got its legs chopped off by a leak. So I thought it was a good show, not a great show. It stumbled. It wasn't fantastic. Distorted says, I'm arguing straight up parts here. You're looking at performance comparisons, which is not what I'm talking about. It's clear their performances are similar, but the physical parts in it are technically better. Opinion has nothing to do with the factual physical parts. Point me to where that's stated. And what's the point in stating it if performance is indistinguishably different? Like, why even bother stating this? Because when you state it, it creates an air and an assumption and a vibe. It's like, well, yeah, it's technically better. But then you're like, well, not really. I mean, they get the same performance, but technically the parts are better. Well, what? According to who? Like, who is saying that? And what difference does it make if they're doing the same things? Like, when you say it, it gives an impression. It brings this air of the Xbox is technically a better console. The Xbox Series X has a slight upper hand with its GPU having 12 teraflops of power across 52 CUs. In comparison, the PS5 has 10.3 of power across 36. Right, okay, so I've seen that before. I didn't have it memorized, but I've seen that before. So that's the edge the Series X has. And then the Sony has an edge with the NVMe, right? The Sony has the edge on the hard drive, making it a wash. They each have something that's slightly stronger than the other, making it like, what's the point in... That's why I've always said every time this comes up, like, what's the point in having the discussion? They are so dadgum close, it's pointless. Not really. The Series X clock speed is locked at 1.825 versus the 2.23 gigahertz for the PS5. That's literally not it. If I'm talking about all of the reasons Xbox is a better console, in my opinion, to someone, of course, is going to bring up better parts. It's only a portion of my argument, which wasn't directed to you. I know, but when I see it in chat, I'm going to check it. What do you mean? It doesn't need to be directed at me. It was in my chat. I think it's unnecessary. I don't think it's helpful to say because it gives an impression that I believe is false. How do you argue slower clock speed? Right, it has a slower clock speed, making the differences between them a wash. How can it be technically better when it's essentially equal? That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, our engine's bigger, okay, but it runs at a lower RPM, so it's not faster, right? It's equal to this engine over here that's smaller but runs at a better RPM, right? I'm not a car mechanic, so what I just said might be totally backwards mechanically, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's like, oh, it's bigger. Oh, okay, what's the interval? Oh, it's the same as this one. Oh, okay, well then what the frick, who cares? Shut up, streamer, we weren't talking to you. You can't argue for better hardware when you have a slower clock speed. Surprise, it's a different design philosophy to achieve essentially the same thing. This is precisely why I've always said this debate is just absolutely fruitless. The differences aren't really there. They're almost identical. You're taking different routes to achieve the same thing. It's like when you get out your GPS and it's like, you could go this way and it takes 15 minutes. You could go this way and it takes 16 minutes. And if you got in an argument with somebody about one way is better than the other, I'd be like, you're wasting your time. That 1 minute of difference is probably margin of error at a red light. Like, you're going to get there in the same amount of time. Different approaches, achieving the same thing. Arguing hardware differences between the two consoles, I'm telling you, it's a waste. It's an absolute waste of time. The real thing you should be asking is, what is the Series S going to do to the Xbox ecosystem and first-party titles, because it's outselling the Series X and the PS5. That's the question you should be asking. You want to sit here and you want to peacock better hardware. What you should really be considering is the dialogue surrounding the Xbox Series S and the people saying it's got problems for development. It's bottlenecked. That's what you should be asking, because that thing is flooding the market. The Series S is dominating with respect to quantity of sales, and that thing is weak. It's got, I'm telling you right now, that thing is a self-made Trojan horse. Zubair, it's a self-made Trojan horse. You don't see it now. You don't see it now, but the Series S is a problem. It is, I'm telling you, that thing's a ticking time bomb. I don't care about the Series S. I use the Series X. Series S is for broke boys. Just a Game Pass machine. But you don't you don't think that's a problem, Distorted? You don't think that's going to cause issues for first-party titles? That they have a greater saturation of the Series S in circulation and it's not slowing down? And it's a problem for developers? The Series S is a problem, but devs are okay working on PS4 still? No, Superman. No. God of War Ragnarok is going to be the last first-party cross-gen game, homie. It's the last cross-gen game. Why? Because they built it with the old engine, old architectures. They tested the 4K checkerboard 60 FPS resolution update on God of War 2018 on the PS5. That game will run fine on both consoles. After that, they are no longer going to be doing first-party cross-gen support games. Because no, these consoles are getting left behind. The Series, I'm telling you, man. Y'all think I'm an Xbox hater. You think I'm an Xbox hater? A Series S is going to be a problem. Write it down. Put it on a post-it note. Put it on your fridge along with my other predictions. Series S is going to be a problem. I'm talking about all the devs, not just first party. Well, Black Superman, you have to understand where we are right now. We're in the in-between. 2020 happened, the sickie happened, working from home happened. So a bunch of projects that were already being built for the old architectures and the old dev kits were already up and running. That's why all those games are landing. In 3 or 4 years, that won't be true anymore. You got to think about where we are in the context of game development. You're forgetting that all these titles about like landing on PS4, some of those are smaller companies, some of those are devs working on engines that are optimizable and they can tone them down. PS4 has ridiculous saturation in the market. So a lot of these companies are like, we can make the game run fine on the PS4. Why wouldn't we do that? That's a massive market that'll potentially buy our game. But that doesn't mean that the Series S isn't a problem. I chose my words very carefully. The Series S will be a problem for first-party titles because they're going to want their first-party titles to be amazing. They're going to want them to be amazing, and the Series S is a problem. I'm telling you, it is. It's saturating the market at too high of a speed, and there's already been devs speaking out about the memory bottleneck in that console. It's already happening. Already happening. Xbox is stronger. PlayStation leans on checkerboard 4K. Xbox runs many of its games in 4K. No, it doesn't. Direct storage, when it's implemented by games, will make the SSD differences completely moot. Xbox is not stronger. We just looked at articles. We just looked at quotes. That's false. It's not. It's just not true. The argument's irrelevant because the PlayStation has proprietary hardware to make up for its shortcomings. If you like PS exclusives, get a PS5. If you don't care, Xbox. I have all of the consoles. What's a memory bottleneck? The developers have spoken out about how the memory of the Series S is causing problems for development. It has less memory. So a bottleneck refers to the narrowest part of a like a computer's strength. Okay? So if you build a really, really strong computer and you put a small amount of memory in it, that becomes a bottleneck. Everything kind of gets bottled and logjam there. Because it's the narrowest part. It's the weakest part of the platform's strength. And the Series S has a bottleneck. 8 gig of usable RAM. You got to think about games that are being developed. All these big next-gen first-party titles that Microsoft wants to have built and launch. Do you want to know what's going on with Starfield? I'll tell you what's going on with Starfield. The Series S is what's going on with Starfield. I can see the headlines now. Starfield's performance on the Series S is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be a Cyberpunk launching on old-gen console situation. I'm telling you right now. That game, that engine, the stuff they've shown us. Xbox Series X is going to have no problem with Starfield. The Series S? Remember this day. I think that is one of the causes. That is one of the causes for the Starfield delay. I believe it's the Series S. That's what I think. The Series S isn't a bad machine. Nobody's saying it's a bad machine. It has a bottleneck. You can have a really, really great computer with a bottleneck. I wouldn't walk in your room and be like, oh, computer's a piece of crap. I'd be like, well, it has a bottleneck. Upgrade the RAM and it'll be fine. No one's saying it's a bad machine. What if something went wrong with the development of Ragnarok? I mean, what if something went wrong with the development of any game? There is no sources, no signs pointing to Ragnarok being delayed. Jason Schreier said just this morning that the God of War Ragnarok release date is set for November, according to his sources. And he's almost like never wrong. Yeah, I already saw the tweet. Wheezy. Thank you. Every piece of hardware has some bottleneck. Can optimization fix that? I mean, potentially it can. It can fix that. But that's likely going... You have to understand something about that, Casey. That's why I say for first-party titles, the Series S is going to become a problem because they're going to suddenly start realizing, we can't do that. No, can't do that either. Can't do that. Nope. We're going to have to optimize for the Series S if you want to do that. It's going to slow down development time. You have to understand something. When a game is being developed for a single platform, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, all future PS5 only titles, that's a huge, huge win for the devs. When you got to develop for 2 consoles and one of them has 8 gigs of usable RAM, that's gonna cause problems. The Series S is holding back the X, just like the old gen holds back the new gen, just not as badly. Do you think, just track with me here, this is not shade at Microsoft, by the way, I'm just making a market prediction. Do you think that the Series S potentially exists because Microsoft knows that their market looks for low price? It's a Western market, it's a Western audience, man. That race to the bottom is such a thing, and the Series S literally exists because they knew they kind of needed it. They knew barrier of entry on the X was going to be price. It also could have been, maybe they anticipated the chip thing. I don't know. Just wait until third parties stop making games for the S. Right. If the Series S is holding back the X and PS4 is holding back the PS5. Black Superman, I want you to read what you wrote really, really slowly. If the Series S is holding back the Series X, you made a typo, the X, then the PS4 is holding back the PS5. That's great. That's great. You just equated the Series S to like an 8 or 9 year old console. You understand what you've just done, right? Like, I love you, but you got to think about what you just typed. Leaving behind the PS4 is going to slowly happen because it's like a 7 or 8 year old console. The Series S just came out, brother. It just came out. It's saturating the market right now. You argued the PS4 did not hold back Horizon Forbidden West. Tommy, don't rip my arguments out of context. The PS4 didn't hold back Horizon Forbidden West because Horizon Forbidden West was being built before PS5 dev kits were in circulation. Therefore, they used existing assets and the engine. And then when the PS5 dev kits came out, they started implementing next-gen features. 3D audio, haptic feedback, cinematic lighting in the actual game, increased resolution and frame rate, okay? So, it didn't hold the game back. Because if they would have launched Horizon Forbidden West as a PS5 exclusive, they wouldn't have been building it. They would have been waiting for the PS5 dev kits, and they would have built the game largely from the ground up. They would have ported it over to the dev kits and boosted everything up, and then it would build it from the ground up, and it wouldn't have launched in 2022. It would have launched, probably 2 years from now, 2024. My logic on that was sound. It's like, you can't say God of War Ragnarok and Forbidden West were held back by the PS4 because they were already in development prior to the dev kits being in circulation. I'm saying, going forward, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, big first-party titles are not going to be landing on the PS4. The Series X and the Series S are in a similar platform shift. And the Series S is going to hold back first-party titles because it's weaker than the Series X. They're going to have to take extra time to optimize for the Series S. There's already developers that have spoken about this, about the Series S memory was a challenge for them in development. You can't just brush that off like, well, those developers don't know what the frick they're doing. Or they're just taking a shot at Microsoft. No. First-party devs are still working on PS4. Ragnarok being made for PS4 in mind is a lot worse than. Ragnarok potential's being held back. No. I am so fair on this. I am so fair and consistent on this. No. Ragnarok and Forbidden West were not held back because development started with existing assets, engines, and they were building the game prior to the dev kits being in circulation. No. My position is so fair and measured on this. Now, I will grant to you, they could have built a PS5 only version of Forbidden West and a PS5 only version of God of War Ragnarok, but we wouldn't have been getting them this year. They would have been coming out way later. So the logic doesn't hold. The games that you got were not held back because they were already in development. The logic is sound. The logic is 100% sound. This guy literally waits until I'm typing. Keeps being said in chat, it's mobile. I don't know what you're saying. Are you just hungry for attention, Butters? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Hang on, I gotta get the IGN Expo stream ready. I put us in. Where's the game? Oh, there it is. Sorry, when you cover gaming, they make you put yourself in a game. It's freaking stupid. Okay. Let me be clear, I think the PS5 is a great console, but checkerboarding is a resource-saving thing. PS5 only has a couple of games running native 4K. Xbox Series X runs almost everything at native. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Akuda. Show me right now what games are running native 4K on the Xbox Series X. What games? Because every time we've looked at this, people have been like, Lono, you're looking for native and almost no games run at native. We've literally debated this before. And I was told that most games don't run at native. They almost all do dynamic, or an upscale. What games run at native 4K on the Series X? List them for me, please. Because every time people have said this, we've gone and looked at the facts, and no, it's dynamic or upscaled, not native. We've literally had this discussion before, like I'm having deja vu. Excuse me. I do agree with how Sony did their consoles. They didn't make a weaker new gen like Xbox. I agree in the future the Series S will be a problem for first-party devs. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, Superman. I'm not trying to take a shot. I'm not trying to make Xbox look like they're bad. I'm telling you, right now, the trajectory of the next-gen platforms, the Series S is going to be a problem for first-party developers. Third-party developers might start leaving it behind. 4K upscale or dynamic. Yeah, that's what they're all doing. Virtually every platform is doing the same trickery to get to 4K. Checkerboard, upscale, or dynamic. Almost no games are running 4K native. You're just literally making a claim about the Series X that isn't true. What is Shiv spamming, Storm? Oh, I hope. Yeah, he literally tried to control V and he put V in my chat. Shiv, chill the frick out, okay? We're all hoping that Schreier is correct. It's not helpful to have the same thing said in chat within 6 lines of itself. You gotta chill on the copy paste or you're gonna get put in timeout. We have a conversation here. We don't just... You're not supposed to act like a bot in chat. Love the Zelda shirt. Thank you. You can use the shirt command. This comes from 80s Tees, and you can use my code over there, and you can get 30% off. The shirt command in chat, ! shirt, it'll take you to the Father's Day collection. Don't act like a bot. I'm in danger. Oh, you're okay, Zubair. You're fine. My balls itch. Get some powder. IGN reporting God of War to launch November. Yeah, Jason Schreier is the one that led that report. Yes. According to everything he is. Hopium for God of War. It's not hopium. It, like, every industry insider, every clue, every single breadcrumb about that game points to a 2022 release. It's not hopium. Like, just... This shows non-dynamic Xbox Series X enhanced games. Okay, guys, that's going to be a blip. We switched ingest servers. YouTube does that sometimes. There will be a follow-up blip. There'll be a second blip. Everything is fine. You may just have to refresh. Audio may desync. So don't worry. Nothing's wrong. It was just a blip. We switched ingest servers for some reason. Okay, none of this on this page, Akuta Papa, confirms 4K native 4K. They've all been enhanced to 4K Ultra. I don't like, anytime we've looked up any of these games, it always says that it's an upscale. It's not 4K native. Halo 5 is native 4K. Halo 5, not Halo Infinite, but Halo 5, Forza and Gears. But those are all, oh my gosh. Is the new Forza 4K native? Because I would give you that one, because that's actually a next-gen title, or is it an old one? Going back to old games and boosting them up to 4K native is not what we're talking about. You're going to say yes. Forza 5 Horizon 4K native. Okay, so this report says Forza Horizon 5 is the first Xbox Series game to run in full 4K resolution in all modes. Oh, no, yeah. Forza Horizon 5 does have a native 4K versus a resolution scaling ultra quality. No. Yeah, so Forza does have a 4K native. It does. But all those other games on that page, I'm telling you, we've done this before. Most of the games on the Series X are upscaled. Most of them are upscaled. They're not running at native. That's why these debates are so silly. It's like the consoles are so close. The game performances and the appearances and the technical analysis, they're so dadgum close to each other. It's just so pointless to debate it. It just is such a waste of time and energy. It's you can sit here and I guess cover up in a warm blanket that doesn't cover your feet and be like, "Oh, look at this. We have some 4K native games." I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Series S. And nothing's running 4K native on the Series S, is it? You got to have the Series X for all that. It specifically says it's outputting 2160 on the specific game's render and output. This is what's being said. Used to be. Once it gets the enhance, it's rendering at 4K. The PS5 is generally rendering at 2 and 3K. Yeah, but going back to all these old games and enhancing them, I don't know. Like going back and upticking all those games to 4K, I don't know. I think this is why every time this debate comes up, I'm like, we're literally measuring straws, and you're like, but mine's green. You know what I'm saying? Like what? It's like the straws are virtually the same length, and you're like, but mine has a green stripe on it. It's like that. What? Who cares? Who cares? Like the thing that I threw out there has nothing to do with Oh, this guy just tweeted at me. Thanks for the best console discussion I've ever heard. No fanboys ran away with it. Great points on both sides. Well, thank you. Ratchet & Clank and Demon's Souls run at 4K, but at 30 FPS. Do Forza 5 run at 4K 60? Oh, yeah, that'd be the question. I don't know. Yeah, because going back and upscaling games to 4K and then your frame rate goes in the dadgum toilet, like, well, who gives a frick? GT7 is native 4K. Horizon Forbidden West has native 4K mode. Ratchet & Clank has a native 4K mode. I could keep going. That's why I think these comparisons are always so silly. It's like you are literally measuring straws that are basically the same length, but I'm supposed to throw confetti in the air because your straw has a green stripe on it. Like, I don't... What? Forza may be the... maybe only because racing games are generally easier to achieve it in. Yeah, I have both consoles, and as somebody who has the Series X... the reports I'm seeing about the Xbox Series S, I find it to be concerning. I do. I find it to be concerning because I look at Starfield and I look at these ambitious games that people are trying to come out with, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is concerning. It's not a slam. I'm not like, if you have to understand as a YouTuber, I'm rooting for every console to just be crazy successful. Whether it's the Nintendo Switch, whether it's the Xbox or the PlayStation. I want them to all be insanely, awesomely successful. All of it comes down to CUs versus processing speed. The Series S is a problem in my opinion. That was the main point that I was making, Akuta Papa. Because when we start getting out the measuring sticks of the Series X and the PS5, I'm like, they're so close. You could change the camera angle and be like, look, Xbox is winning. And then you rotate the camera angle and look from another vantage point and you're like, no, Sony's winning. It's like, they're so close, it just starts to become fruitless. The real issue that everybody's not talking about is the Series S and the fact that it's the fastest selling console right now. It's saturating at a faster rate than the Series X and the PS5. I don't know if it's because they can make more. I don't know if it's the price point. I don't know. But that thing is selling ridiculously fast, and Microsoft fans should be concerned. You cannot ignore that thing and act like, well, everything will be fine. I called it a self-made Trojan horse. Because of the Series S performance, the PlayStation exclusives will seem to be bigger in scale, and Xbox exclusives will suffer. Sony sales will be bigger, and perhaps Microsoft will drop the Series S. I don't know. Oh, that'll look bad. They aren't exactly close. They look close because of trickery. Another delay. Homeworld. Yeah, that's just going to keep happening rest of the year. They all do the same thing. They all do the same thing. It's that same picture with the white outline. They all use the same default template delay announcement picture. They all do it. It's not trickery. It's not trickery, Akuta Papa. Every tech article I've read about the differences between the two systems, it's not trickery. It's not just trickery. They're neck and neck when it comes to performance. They are. Like, it's, again, we're measuring straw distances, and you're like, mine has a green racing stripe on it. I don't know if you saw this. Weird it wasn't shown at the Game Fest. Actual gameplay. Yeah, the Midnight Suns thing, I think, was a mistake. I think Creature's right. Creature said he thinks that something happened because the video got cut short. It was super freaking weird. Get an S. It does a good job at what we all want, playing games at similar speeds to the X and the PS5, just lower graphics. The last three words of that comment, Texas, is so important. Just lower graphics. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? You're saying it's bad because you are measuring it using a very specific criteria, the next genness of the next gen games. Again, for the vast majority of games, I think the Series S will work. No, I'm not saying it's bad because of a specific criteria. I'm saying it's bad because developers have already indicated that it's a development challenge for them. They don't say things like that haphazardly. That's the concern. If a developer comes out and says, yeah, the memory limitations of the Series S, that was a challenge for us, that's going to have an impact on first-party development. I'm not saying that it's a bad console, and I'm not saying that the games are going to be bad or the games are going to run bad. I'm saying, bro, there's at least 2 reports already coming out about the memory issues, the memory limitations of it. As a guy who's now building PCs, the difference between the consoles is like arguing a 3070 and a Gen 3 NVMe and a 3060 Ti and a Gen 4 NVMe. It's a dumb argument. They both perform about the same. Right, it's a different hardware approach to achieve the same performance thresholds. Are all the games you play graphics heavy? That's a red herring question that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Just download more RAM, that's right. It's bad because its saturation rate will force devs to cater to it. The Series S is bad, says Bowers. As an Xbox player, I would never buy a Series S because of its limitations. They were probably complaining just because it's more work, and they didn't want to do it. But it was still achievable, just took more effort. Again, read what you said real carefully, Jake. They were complaining because it was just more work, and it took more effort. Do you know what that translates into? Bandwidth, resources, money. You're acting like they wanted to blow off and play foosball, and we gotta work a little bit longer today for the Series S. This sucks. No, those are billable hours. That's man hours. That's resources. That's bandwidth. That's money. I know you're just saying, Jake, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a problem. That's just my prediction is that the Series S is a problem. I do. I think it's going to be a problem. Why would you buy a Series S? Just save $100 more and get a PS5, or $100 more for the Series X. Just save a little. Like Lono is doing. So it's not directed at Lono. Oh, wait, hang on. You guys are taking my better hardware argument way too far. I don't give a rip how close the performance is. That was nowhere near the point. For the people not talking about just the Series S. The Series S is the base model. Did the Xbox One X outsell the Xbox One and the Xbox One S? I'm not sure what you mean, Christina, and I don't actually know the answer to that question. The issue isn't graphics. It's the hardware capabilities limit what they can do with the money they have, and the budget of the Series S is going to be a requirement to develop for Xbox at all. And people will stop developing for Xbox, and Microsoft cannot have that. The IGN show, we're going to switch that in about 20 minutes, Wheeze. The larger installed base of possible consumers isn't a positive for the Series S. Sure, it takes more bandwidth, but wouldn't it allow for more sales? That is one side of the argument, so that's the economic side, Zubair. However, the increase in sales, the question would be, what does the increased bandwidth and time and resources do to the margins, right? Did it take them longer because of the margins? Did it require them to remove features or downplay features or optimize certain things, certain bells and whistles? That's why I said my original statement, I was very careful in how I phrased it. I said it's a challenge for first-party games because you want your first-party games to be front of the wave. You want them to be Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Ragnarok, Forbidden West, like Starfield. If you think about Starfield, I'm telling you right now, I can see the Jason Schreier article. Middle of next year, there'll be a Jason Schreier article. According to 17 anonymous sources, that worked on Starfield firsthand, the biggest barrier and problem that they ran into was the memory bottleneck on the Series S. Like, I can imagine, I can see the future. Like, I'm going to read that article. That's why I'm telling you, I think it's a challenge for first-party titles. I don't think third-party games that are built on either like old architecture or old engines and stuff, I think they'll be fine because they'll say, oh, there's a huge market for the Series S. We just have to give them like a lower resolution mode and we'll be fine. Like a lot of games can do that. They can literally just give you a lower resolution mode and it fixes a lot of these problems. But some games, buddy, I don't know. That'll never be true. The biggest bottleneck will be the creation engine. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? If the engine's problematic, if it struggles to be optimized for a weaker system, right? Like we're looking at different ends of the telescope at that point. We're both looking at the same thing. They can scale games from a 3080 to a 1060. They can scale games on the S. Again, the Series S is not the base model new Xbox. That's the Series X. The Series S is a budget model of the Series X. Yeah, I think that's a better way of looking at it. I actually agree with that. I think that's a little... I mean, we don't need to get pedantic on that. Like, this is the base model. This is the base model. Who the frick cares? I mean, I agree with what Distorted is saying, but I don't think that's a worthy discussion point to go beyond what we've said. Like, yeah, who cares? Like, what really matters is what will devs do and what will first-party titles do to optimize for a weaker system. What will it do? What will it do to the games? What will it do to the workflow? What will it do to the pipelines? What will it do to the next-gen features that they try to add? The difference with scaling on a PC GPU is there are settings that can be adjusted. Games aren't scaled for different GPUs. They make a baseline and they give you settings. Yeah. Which games like Starfield, they may have that kind of stuff baked in because, right, it's going to launch on Xbox and PC, is it not? So it's already baked in. I don't agree with that assessment. The cheaper model will sell better and become the baseline by default. Okay, let's say you're right, Joel. Isn't that a concern? Isn't that a concern if you're right? If the cheaper model becomes the baseline, games will suffer. That's right. We broke him. No, sorry. I got a text from somebody. Sorry. I try not to do that during the stream. I try to give you guys like my undivided attention, but I've been live for 2 hours and my buddies were texting, so I wanted to reply quick. So am I correct when I say that when they say a game is optimized for the Series S or the X, are they deceiving? No, No. Friday game night with Madam. Oh, that looks good, Creature. That looks good. Here, let me show you guys this. I'm actually going to show that. Members, I want you to see an image. I want you to see something. I want you to see something. Members and non-members alike, consider becoming a member. Consider gifting some members. Maybe wait to gift members until we're in the next stream, because the IGN stream and the Outrider stream might bring a lot more people in. This is what you have to look forward to tonight. Friday Game Night with Madam is a members-only stream every Friday. My wife and I play games that Tier 2 members make us play. So if you want to upgrade to Tier 2 for that feature, upgrade and get in the Discord and take advantage of the Madam Game Vote Room. If you are a Tier 2 and above, please do that. If you're a Tier 2 and above, please get in the Discord and submit games. So tonight it's Halo Master Chief Collection, Goat Simulator, and Batman Arkham Knight, all right? So I'm going to take a quick restroom break. Consider becoming a member, gifting members. If you are a member, get in the Discord. Get in the Discord. And we are very excited about tonight. Don't forget, Friday nights also once a month is community game night, and it's Fall Guys this month because Fall Guys is going free to play on every platform except for mobile, okay? I'm going to run some ads. Ads help support the stream, but we don't do them that often. That's why we sell the coffee. That's why we have memberships, okay? Hit that like button as well. We only need 40 more likes for 400 likes. We're going to be switching to the IGN Live Expo in a little bit, and then the Outrider stream as well. Still more great coverage. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Last time, the Xbox show was garbage. Literally only pre-rendered trailers, not even exaggeration. Only gameplay was Halo Infinite. Oh, you're saying the last time they did a show. Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember, to be quite honest. I have a hard time remembering each year specifically. A lot of it blends together. Okay. Mm-hmm. IGN and the IGN Expo. All right. I'll be interested if IGN gets anything major, like any major announcements. Okay. Yeah, their stream goes live in like 39 minutes. We'll be co-streaming it. We're going to go over in like 10 minutes to get ready. We have a second stream. What would you if IGN gets Ragnarok? I would be I would be so shocked. That wouldn't just be shocked. I don't know. New IGN report is saying November for Ragnarok. Yeah, that's actually not an IGN report. They're reporting from Bloomberg. Bloomberg ran it first. Still annoyed with them updating the store placeholder the day before Summer Game Fest. Giant and unneeded debate. I'll retweet Nibelian. A classic report of a report, yeah. It'd be weird for IGN to get it and Sony to not promote their stream. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. I think Sony is going to have... I think IGN is going to have more... Probably maybe some more exclusive look at Sonic Frontiers. They'll probably have more some more exclusive looks at Sonic Frontiers. And then outside of that, I don't know if they're going to have any like big games or announcements, but... We told you guys we were going to give you Summer Game Fest coverage, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. I didn't want to skip everything just because we were grumpy about yesterday. There's an entire generation of GPUs coming out. The people below Maxwell era are going to get weaned out organically. You said that like it was a threat. What? What did I say? Have we sold any coffee? We've not sold any coffee today. Let's sell some coffee. Come on, folks. Look at these bags now. They look so clean. That negative space is so nice. Reforge Roast, original light roast and original dark roast. Balanced acidity. Yeah, we'll be doing both of the Xbox showcases. We'll be doing both. Also, Zelda games are for children. You see this possible solution? So Distorted says, later down the line I see Microsoft releasing an updated Series S model that fixes these problems, like the Switch has its newer base versions, have better batteries. What are you going to do about all the people that own the Series S, the first gen of the Series S? That would be the question. What can you do with all those people? I say this every day, but we need a wiki to explain things like Zelda games are for children. You were grumpy. I give the show a B-. Didn't need The Rock or The Last of Us remake. Well, I actually thought that The Last of Us remake could have been... I actually think it could have been really, really good. But I ranted about that this morning. Like, Sony had like an oopsie-daisy, and it completely took the sales out of the announcement. You know what I mean? It could have been good. So Last of Us is the new Skyrim. Yeah, it's kind of starting to feel that way. You could tell them to kick rocks and enjoy worse performance. Just kidding. I mean, they will have to live with it like old Switch owners have to as well. They get whatever performance they get. Yeah. Yeah. See, I would say the difference, though, Distorted, is like Breath of the Wild as an example. They could make the next Breath of the Wild look, better, run cooler, smoother, better frame rate or whatever if they do a stronger Switch, because I think they're going to. I think they're going to do a stronger version of the Switch. Okay? So, but Nintendo doesn't really sell themselves on graphical fidelity and next gen and all that. That's not really their POV. That's not really their audience. So that Zelda game can still very much be in a lane, right? It can very, very much be in a lane, and they'll be okay. Now, Microsoft with the Series X didn't do that. They sold people on, go back and watch those commercials, man. Frame rate and load time and 4K and 120 FPS and all their first party games have got to consider excuse me, they've all got to consider the Series S, and I just think it's a challenge. I think it's gonna be a challenge for them, and it will be potentially a self-made Trojan horse. Not that it's gonna like completely demolish them or demolish their platform, but I think it could lead to first-party titles being noticeably kind of held back. Like, this could have been so much better, or whatever the case may be. All right. All right, let me get the tweets out for this next stream. Okay. You can upgrade the SSD on the S, so there's a solution. So you want the thousands upon thousands of people that bought the S to take them apart and install SSDs. Are you going to post a short about you ranting about The Rock? No. No. I posted a short today. It was my sticky hand commercial. It's a pretty funny little short. All right, I'm going to put a link in chat just in case the redirect doesn't work. You can use that link. They're showing some old footage from past showcases that we can watch while we wait. IGN Expo Live will be co-streamed in this video. If you're watching the past broadcast, we did a live co-stream of the IGN Expo Live, hoping to maybe see some more Sonic Frontiers and any other exclusive looks that they have been given. They did promise new game announcements and gameplay that hasn't been seen yet, as well as other reveals. We did a stream this morning doing a Summer Game Fest reaction, talking about the absence of God of War Ragnarok and other titles. I talked about the good, the bad, and the future of Summer Game Fest, and I'm going to bring everybody over from that stream this morning. We actually